Well, what an excellent fireside chat it was on the impact of crypto economy on esports. Well, a lot to take back from that session. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to go on to our next session for the day, which is a keynote on evaluating the role of ad tech in the modern gaming landscape. Well, for this, we're joined by Hendrick Menz, the brand and agency sales director, Anzu. Well, Hendrick brings over 2 decades of expertise in digital strategy, account management, and strategic consultancy to his role at Anzu. He's worked with top international brands such as Dentsu Bank, Samsung, Huawei, Unilever, Mondelez, and Procter & Gamble, amongst others. His deep understanding of activating marketing assets in evolving media landscape helps Anzu drive company profits. Well, with this, I'd now like to humbly invite Hendrick on the stage and screen. Thank you so much, Hendrick, for your valuable time and being a part of our show today. With this, I'd request you to turn on your camera and join us on the main stage.
Yes, hi. Thanks for the intro, Bhavana. Very nice of you. Happy to be here today. And I'm happy to start my presentation.
Absolutely.
So, what I'm going to be talking about today is evaluating the role of ad tech in the modern gaming landscape. So there's a lot behind that, a lot that comes with it. So I thought in order to give a good intro, I'd start with some perspective. And when we look at gaming today, of course, there's a lot to cover. There is, of course, professional esports and competitive gaming, and even more so, there's a whole metaverse of things coming now. I hashtagged this word because that's probably how you most see it today. There's a lot of things behind it. We think of live concerts in virtual spaces right now, but even more than that, we think about virtual currency. We just heard a lot about that, and virtual experiences. And people actually also, thanks or due to a really gruesome global pandemic, have moved a lot of their minds and time into the virtual space. So for advertisers and for brands that are looking to reach people today, and the so-called unreachables, especially Gen Z, younger millennials, are spending most of their time, and especially entertainment consumption, in a space that makes them basically unreachable. Prime and premium video, ad blocking on the open web, premium consumption, and of course games that so far were not really too accessible. But we're not looking only at the classical unreachables, actually, but everybody plays today. When we look at the world population percentage of people playing, you see that it's a very heterogeneous selection of people that are playing, all kinds of ages and everywhere in the world. So this is, and probably for a long time will stay, the fastest growing entertainment industry. Gaming already has far more than 3 billion people playing, 500 million people following and enjoying global esports. And the time spent on the gaming and the consumption of gaming content of others is actually just constantly rising. So also extremely interesting for advertisers is, of course, the question of how is that consumed? How is the perceptive situation? And we have a space with maximum attention. You don't have second screening when you're actively engaged into a game. So other than linear media, where you can actually just turn off or turn out, or second screen when advertising comes on, you have a very exposed situation in terms of consumer. So that sounds actually like a paradise for advertisers. So why aren't more advertisers already 100% engaged into the gaming space? Well, there's a number of reasons. And when you look at some numbers of where we are today, and the time and media consumption spent versus the marketing budgets that go into this space, there is a lot of opportunity. You can tell that actually the media consumption that is comparatively low in television eats up most of the marketing budgets, while gaming is relatively low. There's a few reasons for that, and of course, it has to do with the accessibility. So how do I even get into the gaming space? I can be a sponsor, I can be a supporter, or I can run with the existing methods of advertising. And when you think about the existing methods of advertising, you mainly think about annoying ad formats. This is not so much true for esports, of course, because the advertisers are already sensitized to the difficulties that they have engaging a very sophisticated audience. But in mobile gaming, pop-ups, interstitials, and rewarded video are today's standard. So in the more exclusive and premium environments, you have the AAA titles, you have PC and console gaming, but there's very limited access to that so far. And of course, there's a limited measurement. So you don't really know how much return on invest you're having. This is the reason for ad tech to actually become a relevant player in this space. We think, my company Anzu thinks that not to disrupt the gamer is an essential part of how you want to approach advertising in the gaming space. We think we should let the gamers play. And for that, of course, ad technology is a very decisive factor. So in order to gain access to these premium environments and gain them across different platforms like mobile, PC, console, pretty much anything, even virtual reality, where gaming and media consumption, entertainment consumption takes place, you need a sophisticated setup, and you need a new technology that allows you to work with this space. So measurement is key, and in my opinion, the only reason that this hasn't been done before is the technological accessibility. When you can apply IAB and MRC standards, when you can apply a number of KPIs, when you can actually measure those KPIs, and you have transparent insight on visibility, and even are able to third-party audit the campaigns that you're running in this space, we're getting into a whole new field and a whole new idea of how to approach gamers with advertising in a very organic and natural way. So for gamers, of course, ad tech can actually provide a much better experience by using blended ads that are non-disruptive, that are not infringing on the gaming experience. And at the same time, ad tech, especially, of course, programmatic advertising, allows you to become relevant. 64% of the female gamers say they find they are much underrepresented, even in the gaming advertisers that are already engaged now, which are more endemic, which are more directed at male players. And they would actually like to see more female brands in this space. So the relevance, and we are looking at about a 50-50 share of male and female gamers around the world today, is actually something that brands could really tap into. And realism, at the end of the day, says to me, if I have a sports game, if I have a racing game, I want to actually represent the real world as much as possible. And a very realistic and a very true part of sports environments in the real world, and we see players celebrating, we see realistic vehicles, we see realistic game situations. All of this actually could be contributed to by real world ads that are also timely and that are regionally relevant. So here we come back to relevance in terms of language, in terms of brands that are not global, but maybe local. So this is something where ad tech can provide a great solution. And so for the advertisers, this of course comes into play as well. We are looking at exclusive environments that haven't been tapped into before, especially in the premium sector. We're talking about viewability. So we can actually report now, when do gamers see my ads? Because I don't want to do something disruptive and annoying. So I have to have some kind of metric on how does my campaign reach the consumer. The intelligence of those campaigns in terms of direction, in terms of timing, in terms of applying certain creatives to different spaces is super relevant as well. And to be able to verify this and report transparently on the KPIs is, I would say, key to opening up especially the media budgets of advertisers around the world, about sponsoring budgets, we don't really have to talk, because ad tech really doesn't play a part in that so far. But I believe we will see a change in that space in the future as well. So targeting, reaching the right people with the right ad at the right time, something that every marketing professional will tell you is a dream come true for advertisers. This is something that the ad technology now in the gaming space is able to do as well, is able to provide. And we're talking about, of course, as I said, location-based, contextual. I can completely freely choose the environment I want to appear in. If there's sensitivities on brand side, and especially, of course, violent or half violent games are one issue that is always largely discussed, but also the first party data of the publishers. The publishers are seeing a big increase in opportunity to monetize today in a space they haven't seen before. And this is thanks to the ad technology that companies like ours are providing by giving advertisers access to the space, by reducing churn of their own players that are not anymore annoyed by gruesome pop-up ads. And in return, the players appreciate this to be approached with relevant ads and non-intrusive ads, and are also willing to give up first-party data in order to assure that relevance. So this is, of course, a big factor in a big space. So retargeting and a dedicated reporting is, on the other hand, something that will, again, benefit the advertisers at scale. So we have exclusive audiences, we have a really high valued and quality context to go into. Nothing is more engaged than an interactive application, I would say. So the different opportunities to play here and to engage here are tremendously big. So summarizing, why this space is extremely relevant and why the opportunity for advertisers is now coming up. I would say start your engines and start the race to the finish line, because the opportunity for advertisers, publishers, and even the gamers that are being left alone with disruptive and annoying ads, everybody can actually benefit from the technology that is now applied to the space. So if you'd like to know more about any of this and how Anzu is contributing to developing a safe space for advertisers, a comfortable space for gamers, and of course, a profitable space for game studios, I'd love for you to contact me. And if you have any questions, happy to answer them throughout the course of the Congress as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hendrick. What a fabulous presentation that was. We got to learn so much, and definitely would love to urge everyone to stay connected with you and your team.